Welcome back, guys. Jason here with Zimbrick Audi of Madison, and today I want to show you the brand new 2021 Audi SQ8. The SQ8 comes with a V8 twin turbo, a whopping 500 horsepower, 588 pounds-feet of torque. Let's take a look at what this bad boy looks like. Oh yeah. Now, the SQ8 comes standard with 21-inch rims. These rims down here, it has the black optic package on it, which is going to upgrade those rims to a 22-inch wheel. With the black accent, you also get the black accented grille up here. And then instead of chrome around the window surroundings and roof rail, it's all blackened out. A lot of people ask me what these sensors are for down here. Since this is a prestige model, it does have the standard driver's assistance package on it. So along with the camera that is above the rear view mirror there's a camera down here. And this is actually a laser, whereas this is more radar. So in tandem, all that's working together for your driver assistance functions, for your lane keep assist, for your adaptive cruise control, which will keep you right in the flow of traffic, and then of course your forward collision mitigation as well. Another perk of the Prestige trim here is the Matrix Design LED headlights and taillights with a nice animation. Check out how cool this is when I unlock and lock the car. Love it. Same in the back here. Check out this cool animation for the taillight. Oh yeah, super sexy. Also note, the SQ8 line gives you the quad exhaust down here, both left and right. Get your cool SQ8 badging, the sport badging of course. This one does have a trailer hitch. If you're curious what that looks like on an Audi or on the Q8, SQ8 in general, it's very slick. Manufactured at the factory. That's the stock Audi hitch there. And the SQ8 does have an interesting design element on the back. A little different than the Q7, SQ7. Kind of get this waterfall-esque look, and then the light that goes all the way across the back. It does open kind of like a sportback, a hatchback, with plenty of room. This one does have a privacy protector in it, but you can pull that back or put it down. And then with the seats down, it really opens up that back cabin. So the SQ8 comes with a couple cool features. Adaptive air suspension, the sport suspension is standard, as well as the all-wheel steering. The all-wheel steering is super unique, and what it does, if you're traveling at low rates of speed, like in a parking lot, the back wheel is actually going to turn opposite the front wheels to reduce your turning radius. So your turning radius really shrinks down to that of like a sedan, a large sedan. When you're traveling at high rates of speed, the back wheels move in tandem with the front wheels. So when you're doing lane changes at high rates of speed, for example, there's not as much sliding. It's a safer change in general. I'm gonna jump inside and show you what that looks like. Let's check out the inside of the new 2021 Audi SQ8. Point out a couple cool things. They put a lot of standard features, or a lot of features that normally aren't standard, as standard here in the 2021 SQ8 model. Namely, the virtual cockpit in front of the steering wheel here, completely digital dashboard. Navigation is standard, and you can put Google Maps on there. Or a stock 2D map. There's different orientations to this virtual cockpit that give you a lot of opportunities to kind of design the different style of it, whether you want more of the nav focused look, or you can do more of a speed RPM focused look, as well as change the date and just put a lot of different information on there, for lack of better words. And then right here in the center is the dual touchscreen. Not as many buttons and dials as the previous generation. The bottom screen here is going to do most of your or it's going to do all your climate control, your comforts. You have heated seats, ventilated seats, which are both standard features here. A garage door opener, and then control the temperature. You can control where the air is coming from, whether it's auto or sync, all zones. It is 4-zone climate control as well. And then up on the top here is going to do everything else. As you saw, I was in the Apple CarPlay mode, so this is actually pulling from my phone here. It is wireless CarPlay. This is the main screen for that. But going back to the home screen of the car here, you see you have navigation up here. When you go into type to put a destination, you can either use the keyboard down here, or you can switch this over to a stylus, and I could just write in anything. It's incredible how well this works too. CHICAGO. And then the third way to put a destination in is to hold down this speech to text button on the steering wheel. Navigate me to Chicago.
Getting directions to Chicago.
Boom. Pretty cool stuff. You also get these optional carbon vector inlays here, as well as this nice piano black finish here. But I think that the carbon fiber here is extremely sharp. You have it both on the front and then the sides of the console here, and wrapping around the center console, which on the Prestige has the leather, nice leatherette. Inside here is a wireless phone charger with a couple of USB-C ports to charge your phone up nice and quickly. Like I said before, it is wireless CarPlay. I like to just plug my phone in though, either way, because it charges faster than using the induction charger, the wireless charger, but it is surprisingly fast as well. Since this is the Prestige model, you do have a head-up display on the windshield. You probably can't see it from your angle, but the driver perceives some information. It looks like it's kind of right in front of the car. That's how the driver perceives it. It has things like your speed, what the speed limit is. If you have a destination plugged in, it'll show you turn-by-turn directions in full color right on your windshield, as well as it'll keep track of your lane assistant and your adaptive cruise control if you have that set. It's a lot of good information right there on the windshield. Keep your eyes straight ahead on the road. And then in the back, another feature of the Prestige is you get these rear sunshades, which are automatic by using the normal window operators. So when the window is rolled up, use the same buttons. It then controls the sunshade. So one thing I get a lot of questions on in terms of the navigation and the Apple CarPlay is, if I have Apple CarPlay enabled, will it show up on my virtual cockpit? The answer is no, it won't. So right now I have the onboard navigation, which is standard in the SQ8 here on the virtual cockpit, and then separately I have my Apple CarPlay on the center screen. So I can actually make both of these Google Maps if I wanted to, so they look the same, but they're actually two different programs running, as the Apple CarPlay navigation only shows up on the center screen. It does not show up on the virtual cockpit. So I'm going to turn on the driver's assistance function here. It's a button on the end of the cruise control. So I just turned it on here, and if you look at the virtual cockpit, it's giving me a lot of information now. Over here I have it set to 32. I'm actually going to bump that up quite a bit here. 40, 45, 50, 55. Now there's a truck in front of me who's not going 55, he's going about 45. I'm not touching the brakes or the pedal at all, but it's automatically keeping me right in the flow of traffic because there's a obstacle or a truck in front of me. But as soon as that truck is gone, it's going to increase to whatever speed I have it set to, which right now is, Let's do 45. There it is. And then over here you can see the green lane lines mean that the car's cameras have captured both lane lines. So if I did take my hands off the wheel, it will keep me right in the middle of the lanes without me having to do anything. Going around this corner here. Here comes a car. So it's fairly autonomous. It's not completely autonomous. You do have to touch the wheel and assist it here and there. But for the most part, I'm very impressed with the driver's assistance package. The lane assistant, you can set the sensitivity on it, whether you want it to be what they call early or late. The early setting keeps you right in the middle of the lane at all times, or tries to at least. And then if you have it on the late setting, that's more of a bumper bowling effect, where if you get to one of the lane lines, the vehicle will bump you back in the right direction. But that way it's not always controlling the wheel constantly to keep you right in the middle of the lane here. All right, let's hop on the highway here, hit a nice on-ramp, see what these 500 horses can do for us. It's so responsive. Feels extremely planted. Oh yes. That throaty acceleration. Don't want to get going too fast here, but holy cow. That was easy. There are different driving modes too that you can put the car into by hitting this drive select button down here below the center screens. When you hit that button, you have the option then to select between a few different modes. I like to be in dynamic. Dynamic's the sportier mode when compared to comfort, all-road. In addition to drive, there is also sport mode. So there is drive dynamic, sport dynamic. Similarly, there's comfort, drive comfort, sport comfort. But I think if you're driving an SQ8, you should be in sport dynamic. You can also build your own mode, which is kind of cool. If you hit the drive select button again, the individual pencil here, if you wanted certain aspects of the drive to be sporty, others to be more balanced or comfortable, you can build your own personal mode. If you want a sporty drive, but maybe you want a soft suspension and you want a balanced steering, but you really want that engine sound, so you can build your own mode, which is what I tend to do. I do like a softer suspension, but I don't want to compromise on the throttle response or the engine noise or the performance. Another standard feature, which I forgot to mention, Bang & Olufsen sound system. The Bang & Olufsen 3D sound system comes standard here on the SQ8s, along with the adaptive air suspension, which is nice. 9 times out of 10 you have to pay up for that B&O sound system, so the fact that it's the standard feature here on the SQ8 is pretty neat. So I have my driver's assistance on right now. I'm not touching the brake, but it's notifying me that there's a car in front of me and the vehicle's automatically stopping as the car gets closer. It doesn't stop for red lights. You do have to do that on your own, and stop signs. But if there's a vehicle in front of you, it'll keep you right behind that vehicle. So it's great for distance driving. And the driver's assist also is watching, it's a camera-based system, so the cameras are always watching the road in terms of speed limits. If the speed limit changes, or if there's a school sign or a road sign that is important, the driver's assist cameras pick up on that and adjust to it. So it'll bring you up or down to the correct new speed limit. If the speed limit changes, it'll notify you if you're in a school zone, that type of thing. So a ton of features in this SQ8. I'm very impressed. I was looking forward to it coming out for a while. We finally got our first couple here at the dealership, and we have just one left that hasn't been scooped up. It's the one that we're in, the Prestige. So the parking cameras are super helpful on this. Put the car in reverse, shows you where the vehicle's going to end up as you turn your wheel. I really never look behind me anymore. I just look at the cameras. They build in so much room for error that if the camera looks good, you're more than good. There's also a 3D view that you can switch to as you back in. You can see how close you are to the lane lines, see how close you are to the cars next to you. And then also over here, if you wanted just to see what's behind you or what's in front of you, you can click on the graphic, get different camera angles, different vantage points. There's a few of them here, side by side. Top-down view, wide angle, and the 3D. So, although it's an SUV, it doesn't feel big. It definitely doesn't feel big. We hear that all the time, especially for our SQ7, which is even a little bit bigger with the 3 rows. They don't drive like big SUVs. You don't feel like you're driving a heavy vehicle by any means. Yeah, these are performance vehicles. They're agile, they're planted, and they're very fun to drive. Thanks guys for watching the video. Make sure you subscribe, like this video. We're always releasing a lot of good content, and make sure you check out our other videos on the Q8 and all the other models in the Audi line. Thanks again.